A ceasefire deal between Hamas and Israel is seemingly imminent, with mediation talks in Doha said to be in their final stages. But this is not the first time negotiators have said they were on the verge of reaching a deal before talks fell through, and mediators are warning against raising expectations too soon. It would bring an end to a 15-month conflict that has seen around 1,200 Israelis killed and a further 251 held hostage. In Gaza, the death toll has surpassed 46,000 Palestinians, according to its health ministry. Around 90% of Gaza's population has been displaced, with many at risk of famine. For the latest, I'm joined by Riham Jafari from ActionAid Palestine. Riham, while the world waits to see what happens next and whether this time the ceasefire deal really does come to fruition, what is the situation in Gaza as we speak?
The situation on the ground is still dangerous, catastrophic. The humanitarian condition of the people are catastrophic, are still suffering from starvation, thirst, lack of shelters, relentless bombing and attacking for health facilities, and searching for safe place where there is no safe place in Gaza, while the world, the whole world, and all the Palestinians in Gaza and the West Bank are waiting for ceasefire agreement to be declared and signed to end their 15 months of suffering. Ceasefire has been waited for a long time, and this delay in reaching this ceasefire is a clear indicator for the failure of the world and the world leaders and the international community. But the situation, the humanitarian condition of the people will not be improved unless restrictions on humanitarian aid removed and opening of crossing borders.
And what's the situation right now on any aid getting through to all those people you've spoken about in such great need?
During the past 3 months of the last year and the current month, the aid is decreasing. The number of aid and aid trucks are allowed to Gaza are decreasing. For example, the average of aid trucks entered to Gaza was around 69 aid trucks per day, while Gaza needs every day, according to Oxfam estimation, more than 1,500 trucks a day during the war. We are not talking about before October 7th, where 500 trucks were allowed to Gaza. Now the humanitarian needs of the people are increasing. The humanitarian situation is catastrophic. There is a severe shortage in shelter items, in fuel, which is needed for operating hospitals, for operating community kitchens, for operating generators, for producing clear water. So everything is needed in Gaza and everything is missing. What is delivered is still a drop in the ocean, taking into consideration that the northern areas of Gaza do not receive a huge or enough quantities of aid. They only receive during the past 2 months around 13 aid trucks, according to Oxfam numbers. So the catastrophe of famine and starvation and the disease and the coldness in Gaza is still ongoing due to the obstruction of a humanitarian aid to Gaza.
It's so powerful to hear you describe it as everything is needed and everything is missing. You've written extensively about the specific impact on women and girls. What conditions are they facing specifically?
The women in Gaza, they have unimaginable suffering, and the children, they are under continuous stress, and they are being amputated without medical treatment. They suffer from stress, anxiety, and psychological stress all the time due to the loss, to the continuous bombing. Women are being starved to a catastrophic level because they are the least and the last ones who eat in Gaza. They give their priority and their share to children. They have increasing loads and responsibilities by searching for alternatives, like when they search for alternatives for gas cooking, they search for woods and for some unhealthy items to burn it and to prepare meals for their children. They also wait for long hours in queues for getting water and getting food. They all the time feel sad for the loss of the children, loss of the family members. Some of them are left without any members of their family after killing them and bombing the family houses. Many of them are staying alone, and they will find nothing, or will they found no homes to return to after the end of the war. And also children, when we are talking about children, this war has created a new acronyms for a children. Wounded child with the surviving child with no surviving family members, who was left alone after the killing all of his family members. We have more than 20,000 of orphan children. So these children, how they will be treated, how they will be helped and supported after the end of the war.
How closely are people who are just struggling on a day-to-day basis to survive, how closely are they monitoring what's happening in Doha right now?
Now the people in Gaza all the time, now they all following the social media, the official media, the social media influencers, the political leaders' statements, searching for new and updated news on signing and declaring ceasefire, and the time on which the ceasefire will be into effect. So they, because they do not want to miss more of their relatives and beloved ones. Ceasefire means for Gazan people now is stop killing after the whole and the huge destruction. And after the end of the war, they are sure, and they are certainly know that they are returning to a distracted Gaza, distracted homes, and another journey of suffering will start after returning to their neighborhoods, to their streets, to their work places that were completely destroyed in this war.
Just before I let you go, Riham, are you confident, are you optimistic that this time this deal will happen?
We have to be optimistic. We do not need to lose hope at all. We need to keep hoping that to reach a ceasefire. From following the media and the analysis on different media channels, which indicate that a ceasefire will be reaching, we are hoping that that ceasefire will be reaching, but it will be reaching after long wait, after 15 months of suffering, after 15 months of destruction and killing children, women, elderly, patients, and young people. This war doesn't kill only the bodies of the people and the spirits of the people. It killed their hopes, their aspiration for a future. It killed everything for the people in Gaza. It killed their belief and their trust in the humanity which left them behind. point, which left them alone. So reaching ceasefire means restore of hope for Gazan people.